Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Bonjour, you're watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. My name is TK Trinidad, and I am not alone. She is one of the original cat moms. She's also a wrestler. Please welcome Sarah the Rebel.
What up?
And apparently she's a gangster too. And this one,
how do you not know this about me? I feel like
she's the farmer's daughter, another cat mom too, by the way. Please welcome Emily May.
Hey.
Hey. And this woman is amazing. She has like so many jobs. I'm just going to give you a short list. She's a wife. She's an actress. She's a pro wrestling manager. She's one of the owners of WWA for Pro Wrestling School. She's also the owner of Boss Babe. Please welcome Ayla Fox.
Hey, everyone. What's up?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me again.
Thanks for coming on. Yeah. I think you were on this time last year.
Yes, I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's crazy what a year, like nobody thought that. Who knew?
It's wild. It's wild. It took a turn of events, but it also did like open a lot of different avenues and canals for people too. So it was crazy.
So tell us, how's the school been surviving? Like, how, you been surviving through this whole pandemic era?
At first, oh my goodness, it was terrifying because I was right with WrestleCon, so that got cut. So that was a lot of shows cut, and then the state, we all had to close gyms and everything for, I feel like it was like 2 weeks. It was good in the sense of it gave us time to really slow down. But it definitely was scary at the time because we didn't know when we could open again. Mm-hmm. So luckily it only lasted 2 weeks and everything worked out fine. And honestly, I think that it probably gave people an awakening, like, oh crap, I need to do what I said I'm going to do, because who knows what's going on in the world. Because when we reopened, it was like an influx of people. So thank you, COVID-19.
Is there when you started, have you restructured and kind of looked at your wrestling school in a different way now that things have because there's capacity changes and things and rules and guidelines and stuff. So have you
so at first we were like, oh gosh, what are we going to do? So we had a sign up sheet where 8 people could sign up within the block. And then of course you check your temperature and your thermometer. And then basically our governor was like, look, y'all got to live. So he opened the state back up pretty early. And that's probably why our rates are so high. But we have been sanitizing.
That's why?
Georgia, yes. Our governor was like, screw it. If you die, you die. So we're here. But we've just been wear your mask, wash your hands, check your temperature. It's really just, what can you do but that, or close. So it's obviously enter at your own risk, just like when you go out to eat, did you really need it? Anything going out is a risk. So, we just try to keep it clean. We've been case free. If somebody even thinks that they've been exposed, they let us know. And we're like, okay, let's close, wait for the results. Okay, boom. And everything, no cases. And so we're grateful for that and hope that continues.
It's pretty great that you guys did it that way, because I've had other schools out here that open. They're just like, hey, don't come if you feel sick. But then they still had cases and outbreaks. So
right.
Kudos to you guys for, even though it wasn't the rules, doing
right.
it. Yeah, I heard about Georgia. I got a few friends out there.
Yeah, Georgia and Florida. They're quite the interesting states.
Yes.
But we had the advent of COVID that happened, but then also, Black Lives Matter, and a lot of deaths happened, and, a lot of, protests. What do you think is the state of wrestlers or Black wrestlers in wrestling?
I feel that at this point in relation to wrestling, promoters are actively hiring more people of different backgrounds, to make it known. I think that hey, we're all good. Let's be a part of the change. And I kind of don't really scroll too much online to see the negativity in the wrestling, but you know, everyone could see the wrestling promotions that didn't post Black Lives Matter, or you know, the owner of the promotion is just like going off, you know, in a kind of a non-supportive way. But I think that people are more actively hiring different people from backgrounds. And this the most misconstrued thing, I think, from the whole thing is the Black Lives Matter movement being tied in with the looters, because I mean, I went out and protested and I could clearly see that it was two separate groups of people. And it was even a point where it was time to march and the group was like, okay, we're going to go down to Capitol Street, da da da. And then there's another group like, we're going down to Fifth Street. We're going to set this moho on fire. And it was like, okay, yeah, you guys are not here protesting. And all the Black Lives Matter movement is if someone gets shot and killed by anyone, police officer or anyone, can they please get charged and let it be settled in the court? And that's it. So I hate that all just got jumbled together. But I think in wrestling, people that are trying to support the cause are making sure to, you know, bring in new talent of all different backgrounds.
Now, do you think, so I was watching one of the WWE shows, and they made reference to Kofi Kingston when, you know, he had the Jamaican accent. And do you think being a wrestling school where, you know, you're the owner, you're Black, as far as storytelling and everything is concerned, do you find that like what you educate your wrestlers is different from somebody else who doesn't have experience with, you know, all types of minorities?
I mean, I would say our wrestling school is very, very diverse. We have people from all over the world and country and different backgrounds, small little towns. And I think that does give them all the experience of being more diverse and learning about different cultures and stuff. And when it comes in relation to, you know, who they're going to be in the ring, that's all up to them. You know, we just make sure they ask themselves, who is that person? Why are they why are they like the way they are? What drives them to be a wrestler? Why do they do that move? What's behind it? Like, you need to have an answer to all those things on why you are who you are, and make sure it just makes sense, you know, but you can do whatever you want.
So when you're running your school, are you helping them, like these wrestlers that are trying to figure out what their brand is and what message they're trying to say? Do you help them in any way? Like what type of classes and things like that do you help them go through?
So of course, most people when they start, they kind of have an idea like, I want to be like Ruby, badass. And you're like, okay, cool. You know, that's her, whatever, that's you. So during the training, you train. I'm not in any of the like training physically. Train. And then you have your practice match. And that's when your personality is going to shine in your practice match. And that's where we're going to say, well, why would you do that when you said that your person isn't afraid of the dark? Why, when the lights turned off, you ran and looked scared? Like, you know, just whatever, you know, just questioning them. Why this, why that? And a lot of times, you know, I tell people, you know, getting into the school show, some people, you know, in the past, we always say we don't want any rocks in our garden, you know, people who just like get lost all in the sauce, you know, and they would think like, I'm in the school show, like I'm the best ever. And it's like, calm down, you know, that's great. And it's amazing. But this is still just another part of training. Like you train in the ring and then now you're in the show, applying it to real life scenarios. That's why it's a live crowd. So some people might not like you. Some people might not this, but this gives you all the time to, maybe you want to change your interest music to something else. Maybe you want to change your name. Maybe you want to change everything about your character before you hit the road. And that gives them time. So we really don't, we'll ask them questions to help guide themselves, but we don't tell them anything they have to be.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like Sarah could probably speak to this too, but like those kind of like recital shows, house shows are really important to figure out, okay, like if someone's never performed, I'm going to say performed, but been in front of a big audience, you don't know if they're going to boo and you have a reaction, or you don't know how to react to someone. Like all of that is like all works together to kind of help you know, help you react to an audience or not react, like, and
Right.
figure out what your character is.
Have that first reaction when you go out and nobody says anything.
Yeah, silence.
They're like,
Also.
I just want to say that I love that you called it recital, and now I kind of want to mess with people and call it recital matches anytime it's brought up now, just to take these little wrestlers down a notch. Oh yeah, it's a recital match. That's good. How'd it go? The school recital.
I saw Sarah's eyes look up. I was like,
I know. I couldn't think of the word. That was the one word that came out.
I know. I am not picking on you.
She's here for it. She's here for it. She's like, recital.
You're like,
I'm taking notes.
I mean, it reminds me like when you have singing lessons and you have like 10 lessons and then you think you're Mariah Carey and you're like, okay, go out and like have a concert, right?
Right.
oh
right.
no.
You know, it's really interesting, like you said, watching people develop their character. Speaking of which, I got to see your character in real life when we were both at Empower Wrestling.
Empower, yes.
Were we in Georgia or Alabama? Or were we in both?
It was a thin line. It's a thin line. I'm pretty sure I think we were in Alabama the first night, and I think we were in Georgia the second night, but I think we were on the line. I'm not sure.
Okay, we were somewhere
in the sticks.
And I really was curious about if you have anything to do with helping them with character development, because your character is so solid, and I loved the way you elevated. It was these two young girls at a tag team, and they have a good look, but they're young still, so they're a little boring. That's like one of the biggest things. You're either annoying or boring, I feel like.
Right in the beginning, right.
Yeah, and just the way you elevated them, so I'm like watching them. I'm like, man, these girls are gonna be a big deal, and everyone in the crowd really felt it. So I was curious if you take a hand at all in any kind of helping people with their characters.
I think that's where I would come in, and some people, because usually I don't say anything, but I tell them first as a fan and as someone who's just literally been here absorbing all this information. You know, if you really would have like really looked upset, like you just did this big move with this person and he just like kicked out and you're so upset, like you're mad, but like, aren't you like really mad? You know, but I let everyone just do what they do, and then I'll say, hey, as a fan, blah blah blah. And some people don't want to hear what I have to say, you know. They're like, what are you, whatever, I don't care. I'm just trying to help you out, you know.
Right.
But with the Renegade Twins, honestly, I asked around when I was scouting talent, and one of my homegirls put me onto them, and I, hit them up, and we were like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So we, signed some contracts for Ayla's agency, and we showed up to Empower. And even between night one was our first time working together, and between night one and night two, I noticed a difference. Because I'll tell them, I always tell people, and I think some girls have took it wrong before, just at the school. Like, if we want to be, who do we want to? Do we want to be a wrestler on TV? Do we want to be an actress on TV, a man, whatever? Do you want to be on TV? What do those people look like? And it's not like you have to look like this person, but you have to look like the best version of you at the quality of the person on TV. So when you come to the show, you need your makeup on, like I don't wear lashes. My eyelashes are beautiful, but on camera, you can't, they need to be bigger. You have to have your hair done whatever way it is, some type of cool style, And so I feel like after an encounter, then I could say, oh, if you did and this, tweak that, and do this, and just a couple little things that, I was just to sync us together some more between night one and night two. I noticed a difference. And I told them, I said, well, you guys are, those ears are open.
They are. I really mean that. I think they're going to go places because I agreed with you. I saw that too. And I saw they were open to learning. So speaking of what you just said, it's funny. So Lacey Ryan, who people have mostly probably know from Primetime Live, she's someone who doesn't like to wear makeup. She's naturally very cute face, but just what you were talking about, when she would do the shows, when she would take the pictures, she just looked like she wasn't even there to wrestle. And, and she had to learn that and grow and like start putting, sorry, girl, you got to put a little makeup on, even if it's,
she started like putting lashes on.
Yep.
I didn't wear lashes for like 3 years. I'm like, I'm not wearing lashes. Then I was like, I have to, like, if I'm trying to, like, if someone's going to look at me and be like, she could be on that show, she could fit right in. that's what I wanted. Like, yeah, I could just pump her right in. She'd fit in, you know, no matter what, even if it doesn't matter what you look at Sue Young. Beautiful. That's her dead bride. Perfect. Right. So it doesn't matter what look you're going for. Just pick your look and go to the 10.
Yeah. Right.
Agreed. So like you've had quite some success with your school. You have the new NXT North American champion, Leon. So who, like, is there, I know you touched upon like what you do, but what's the secret sauce? Because he's not the only one. You have quite a few people who've went on to major promotions, and you know, I've you know, we've done this show for a while and I've spoken to a lot of people, but you know, there's not that many schools where a lot of people are getting signed. So what's in the secret sauce, if you can, you know, let us know?
I don't know. I'm just doing the accounting. No, they just train. Fox is just like a wrestling genius. Like he's watched like so much wrestling, trained so many years. And I think that the main thing he tries to instill in people is that training never ends. There's not like a stopping point. Like I'm here and now I'm done. And that little factor kind of determines who's going up and who's staying here. Is how much do you think you know it all? Your ego, you're humble, you're this, you're that. So I think that's the main thing that the people of success and that have gotten it. And honestly, it just feels really good just being like a younger, you know, couple having the school, and since 2016, and it's 2020, and like ever since 2019, people were getting signed to WWE and then now AEW, and they're just like everywhere. And honestly, like Fox is so humble. I have to tell him something like, do you understand? In like 5 years, this ratio of people are on television that you trained at some factor, you know? And it's just an amazing feeling, honestly, and just like, you know, a testament to, you know, his like ability. And, you know, sometimes he'll be like, sometimes I believe in them more than they believe in themselves, you know? And then it's just really who ends up believing in themselves that's going to make it. And, you know, the diversity of everyone getting on TV and everything is also really cool. Cause, you know, people, everyone, for every good, there's a bad, you know, like, oh, well, this person got signed because of this. And this person got signed. We're like, oh, you can't, there's every flavor of the ice cream, size, shape, and ability out there. So that's really good to see them be able to shine, knowing that all of them, you know, when they signed up, I'm like, you know, sign this here and go ahead in the ring. But the ones that really go far, the ones that listen the most and train the most in the ring, and then train the most on their own personal time, you know, in the gym and, you know, working on their promos and everything. And those are the ones that always kept their mind open, that made it to places. So it's really cool to see.
Now, you guys have been, you and your husband, it appears, because I, you know, when I did a little deep dive on your social media, because that's my favorite thing to do now. I just like do deep dives because it's
to stalk people.
Media tells so much more about something than like, you know, just going through, you know, a Google thing. So it looks like you and your husband been together for a minute. So what is, this is like a totally not even this is like a non-wrestling question, but like, what is like, what's the secret sauce? You guys look happy. You guys look like you guys work together. You love, like, you guys look like it's what it's supposed to be. Mm-hmm. So what's your, you know, what's the secret?
I love that you asked this, because I was like, we should do a YouTube channel on this. But I think that honestly, when you realize, like, and of course, like some people can already be in a relationship right now, but if you're not, this is really important. When you realize you're at a happy point alone, like, of course you're going to feel lonely sometimes. Of course you're going to feel sad sometimes, but like going out to eat alone or doing mini golf alone or whatever alone, and like having like a nice content ride, whatever you like to do, and then inserting someone into your life that you're dating, like, just try to remember or think like someone can't make you happy. Like, you have to make yourself happy, and then the person coming into your life both lift you up. So I feel like our thing is like, shoot, I'm like, I could be single. I could be single too. So it's like we're choosing to be together. We're not like depending on each other for happiness to then stay together. And then also I think that people need to, you know, everybody has, like, someone could be like, I can't date someone who has this, or I want to date someone who has that. But you really have to look at the picture, the whole picture of, sometimes people think of the material or like this person has to be a stockbroker with a clean record or this or that on the outside shell, but that's not really what's in the core. And people need to it helps them when they focus more on the core and not the shallow things, that you'll find a better connection with someone, because, you know, we're all gonna die. So find the one you love, you know?
That's a way to.
You need to clip that one, Sarah. That's the one that you clip.
Yeah, that's getting clipped. We're all gonna die. So find someone you love. Yeah.
So I totally get that, because I have to work with my husband as well. Like, we're in the wrestling industry as well.
Right.
So I have to work with him like weekly, right? And daily. It's always a conversation. And so how is like work life with your husband, and like how do you balance like the personal like husband relationship and like
how do you not
and that's
out?
And how do you not kill each other?
Yeah, that's where I have to, and it took me years to realize like how I'm staying like focus on the core, because he is like super OCD, like always on time. Like he wants to have the plan, like we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that and we're gonna do this. And I'm kind of like, I'm gonna wake up naturally and I have a list of things I'm gonna do, but at first I'm just gonna wake up and then see which one I do first, you know? So we went through years as business partners in the beginning, clashing on the sense of, I know what we need to do, but I'm just like, I don't want to be like, boom, boom, bow. And if I'm like, say you're like, have a set plan and we're driving, I'm like, oh, look at that store. Let me go in it. It's like, whoop, that's off track. Oh no, red alarm, you know? So we had to get through that, but I kind of had to just, like I'm saying, accept him for what I would feel an OCD flaw, because I'm just like, oh my Lord, you know? But you just have to communicate and also set up times. Like we kind of know Monday through Friday, we're not going to be able to separate work and personal life. Like we're going to talk about both throughout the week. But then like Saturday and Sunday, we like try to not talk about work at all, because we've tried to do like when we're at work, we'll talk about work, and when we're at home, we won't. But that's impossible because you have to talk about the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay. So then like a year in, we're like, okay, look, we just are going to talk about work Monday through Friday. But then when we're on the road, we're on the road.
Constant.
Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes, when you're on a long road trip, you might have to sit in different aisles and stuff, but you have to remember that I think some people get sad when their partner's like, I just want some me time. But I feel like when you realize that too, like me time is healthy and it's not a diss. You know, and I think we understand that.
Send it to my boyfriend.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. I need to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go chill in the room and go watch Darcy and Stacey real quick.
Yeah, disconnecting a little bit is good. Like you need that time.
Yes, definitely.
Totally healthy.
Yeah.
So, what are you looking forward to with your school in the coming year in 2021? Hopefully, it's a better and brighter year for everyone. But what are you looking forward to? Do you have some amazing plans?
Yeah, I am. Fox has done some serious like remodeling inside of the school. It looks really, really cool now. A real arena. And you know, Leon Ruff got signed like a couple months ago, and then already won the North American Championship. So that's like, whoo, you know, like the guys at the school were like National Leon Ruff Day. So that show was really fun, and we're just trying to make sure to give everyone an outlet to still have matches. You know, we're following the COVID, you know, CDC guidelines, like doing the temperature checks and sanitizer and the hand washing, and we're sanitizing the ring and everything. And that's been going really well. So we're having live stream matches instead of our live matches, so that the students, and Fox hates when I call them students, but it's just literally just easier. I love them all. But the members, they get a chance to still have matches to have online, because that's what a lot of people during this, you know, pandemic they're missing, is the having matches.
So tell us, so you started, well, it looked like you started something back in February, the agency. Tell us about that. So like, are you scouting people for this agency, or what is that all about?
Yeah. So, you know, when I first started managing, I was at Beyond Wrestling and then CZW. And then that's when I started managing my husband. And so first it was just him and I. And then I started, you know, the members coming on the road, and we were like, you know, we could fly, but we're going to pile up in the van so we could get this experience in, and you guys could see, you know, setting up the ring, get your spot, boom, boom, boom. So then now we have the sculpt. So now I have more members that I'm managing under my leaf. And then next thing I'm not doing Shine, and I got the AAA. So I'm like, okay, we got to organize this because I'm doing all these bookings for these different people, kind of not in an organized manner. So then I thought, Ayla's agency, that makes sense. And as AAA, Aja went to WWE and Big Swole went to AEW, it was like, okay, this is the time to, make something official. And I made AAA, and I had my first match before quarantine on Empower. I scouted some new girls, the Renegade Twins, Charlotte and Robin. We only got to do 2 shows together before the next show was canceled due to COVID. So I really am interested in doing stuff with them. I know they've been training. They train at the Nightmare Factory, so I know they're like going hard. And I'm basically kind of just in talks with the Shine office and Empower office, just thinking of what dates for the clients that I have right now. What are your projected dates? When do you think we would have a return? So I can kind of get an idea, because I was just scouting new talent on the last Shine, and I haven't been able to, really meet them in person because, super spreader with the flights and all.
Yeah, it's now like that you say that, it's crazy because last year when we talked to you, we also had Big Swole on around the same time. It's like, Aja was on the same time.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, like how like before COVID, like just life has changed even that part. So, it's wow, it's
crazy.
Do you still get to see them at all? Because it seemed like you guys were pretty close, so that would be like kind of like, oh, if they've got like conflicting schedules, or do you guys still get to?
Yeah, honestly, that was happening a lot. We were having conflicting schedules. So obviously, Aja was she's with WWE, and I was doing a lot of extra work down there. I would come down on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then leave Thursday. But AEW filmed on Tuesday, so Swole would always be flying out Tuesday night when I was coming in Tuesday morning. So it was kind of like, should we go meet for 3 hours? No, we're tired. Right. So we never really, like that over 30, you're like weighing your options, like, I could face
like bedtime or
right.
Thank you.
Right. So Aja and I usually just, stay with Aja, and we just eat a bunch of food, and we've been doing some photo shoots with Modern Myth. I've been taking Aja out of her shell, telling her, girl, you got to step up, step out. And so I've been breaking her out of her shell and doing some photo shoots and stuff. But yeah, we grew to be really good friends through AAA. So that's pretty funny. Because she was at WWA 4, in 2016. And, she was on it. She had her payment plan. She always paid on time, but we weren't like that. Weren't close, Right. So then, but we knew each other, obviously. Then when we did AAA, then we like really got close then. And then we both were like, okay, look at this. So that's pretty funny.
As a manager, I don't know if you saw this. WWE had the Chronicles with Lana. Did you get to see it at all?
I did not get to see all of that.
Okay, so have you been seeing her get like?
I saw clips.
Yes.
A bunch of times. So I saw the Chronicles, and like it made me understand not her character, but who she is a little bit more. Not necessarily feel sorry for her, but I get her a little bit more. As a manager, what would you do as far as like either her storyline or like what do you think she could do? Because I saw her before I saw the Chronicles, the last time she got put through a table. I'm like, I literally tweeted like, really, y'all, again, like 9 times. Like it just seems like a little bit much, and I hate when certain storylines just go beyond like, all right, we got what you're trying to do. This part's unnecessary. It seems like more of a punishment than as part for the story. Is there any suggestions that you would have as a manager? I mean, if you have any,
Well, Lana really took me into agency mode at her as a manager with Rusev, her power, her strong words, her suits. Okay. I saw her recently when I was there as an extra at Raw, and I wanted to tell her like, you're amazing, but of course you don't, whatever. But honestly, if and I'm going to say this as this perspective of her being a manager, now wrestler, and me being her manager. Okay. I would be like, Lana, I think that you're trying to prove that you're a wrestler. Like, avoid getting thrown into the table. Stop it. When you go to, you could run the other way, get in the ring and wait and let them get counted out. You know, like, you can't always control what's happening to you, and every situation she's been to the table, you can't. But you could think of how to avoid the situation, or have me ask for a stipulation where there can be no tables so that you can have a fair match. And I think that she might be getting a thrill out of it a little bit, in the sense of like, see, I'm a badass. I go through tables. And that's not always, you know, what's going to get you to, but she got a championship match out of her, you know, so, true. But I would tell her to try to definitely avoid as much as possible the same situation that continues to happen roughly in the same area. So
right.
That's what I would try to coach her on there.
Right. It does make you look a little dumb as a wrestler if you keep getting caught in the exact same way for the exact same thing.
Right.
And, you know, I've been watching a lot of old wrestling lately. And back in the era when they were putting people through tables, almost all of those women who were put through tables ended up getting addicted to painkillers, and at least having that as a period in their life where they were taking painkillers. So Ooh. We can't pretend this doesn't do anything to your body, as safe as you're being. Like, if you go through a table constantly, your body is going to say, okay, got to build something here, got to build a callus, got to build something.
Yeah, that definitely is super dangerous. And I mean, I think she's literally like an amazing actress, like top notch, 100%. And, but yeah, that all definitely will catch up, because I am married to A.R. Fox and he is moving slower.
Right, time to go out again.
He's like,
make sure you cut that one out too, Sarah.
So there's also like a mental drain. I feel like, so there's parts of her chronicle clips have been going around about like the social media aspect of being a wrestler and being in the public eye. And there's a lot of like,
she was the care less.
Yeah, there's like a lot of mental health, problems that are attached to like fans and things like that. So like, how would you help, like, you know, any of the wrestlers that are going through your school kind of combat that as they're navigating like all of that stuff?
I tell people that you could be a regular person on social media and probably have just a little bit amount of attention that you can handle. Mm-hmm. But if you're choosing to be someone who is in a spotlight form of any sense, you need to care less. You know, that's why I encourage people to make their social medias only their character. Mm-hmm. So that if someone is being negative, it's just to their character, not to you as a person. But you also really have to care less, because who are these people? Everyone who's getting made fun of, like, or something, someone else is making fun of them, you know, and that's not right or anything. But people, I teach my nieces and my younger sisters and cousins, you have to just not care, because who is this person? Especially on social media, you don't know who's behind the keyboard. You don't know what they're going through in their life. They're obviously very upset if they're being negative. And I tell them that sense of care less. But also the main thing I tell them, which is what William Regal told us one time in this seminar, was even if you have to post like you already have the following you want. You have to move and act although you have the following you want. Although it sounds rude, don't answer people in your DMs, because you could be answering them now. Look at people's small little things come up and they're like, this person said this, they got a screenshot. Just meet them at the show, at your merch table, meet them at a meet and greet. Keep that exclusivity to yourself in that sense, and also cover yourself in that sense as well.
I think that's really great advice. I'm a very angry person. It's naturally, as it might be a surprise to everyone but TK.
What?
So it used to be back in the day when I was in video games, I would just throw down in social media world. Like, we were fighting. I brought all the facts and the proof and and we had huge fights. But the past few, I'd say like 7 months at least. It kind of coincides with COVID, because I've been like, so everything is terrible, and I'm just like, the energy. So I've been ignoring people completely. not blocking them, not muting them, not liking, just completely
nothing,
ignoring them. And I have found it takes the wind right out of their sails. It gives them if you give them
nothing to work with.
There's no fuel to the fire, like nothing.
And it's really, people have been telling me that for a while. I just hadn't been listening because I'm like, no, I must stand for truth and justice. But like, you're right. Like, if you ignore these people, they feel it. They feel like they are the little people that they are. Like, I didn't even know, like, and that hurts them. I know it's mean, but they're trying to hurt you. So fine, you get nothing from me. And it has improved my mental health.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, I feel like we should do like a whole like subject on Lana. It's just so interesting. There's just so many little things. I don't know. Like the Chronicles just made me not like, I didn't necessarily feel sorry for her, but it's just like where she grew up and how she grew up and all these little things. Like you can understand why certain things are happening. And then also too, like if you watched her on Total Divas, et cetera, like she's just not giving up. Like no matter how many people are telling her, like, she's
I mean, that's admirable. Well, I'm gonna go and watch the whole thing.
We
can come back.
We should do that because it's just, it was actually really good. I'm not a fan of the Chronicles because I want to see everything, but this one was just the right amount because obviously if you compare Lana to like Bailey, it's two totally different things. So when I saw Bailey's Chronicles, I wanted to see more, but Lana's was just enough to like for me to like understand. Okay, I understand all the aspects.
I mean, I'm glad she got that. To be honest,
Yeah, but say.
Definitely surprised. Like even my boyfriend was like, because he has the network, I don't have the network, and he was like, "Oh, a Chronicle on Lana," But like, what? Then once you watch it, you're like, "Oh, I get why."
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So
I think I was an extra the night she went through the table the first time. I was an extra that night, and she was jacked up when they got back. That hurt. I was like, "Ooh."
Yeah. Well, I mean,
me.
Yeah, it all looks. I'm not after like the sixth time. I'm like, okay, this is enough. Like we get it. Like I understand what's going on there, but
I mean, I won't ask anyone else to speak on this, but I think they're trying to get her to quit. Like literally to get her to quit and join her husband. So
she did for you guys who didn't watch, and spoiler alert, but she did when she did talk about that, like, she's like all of a sudden one day, and she couldn't say his name, or she didn't say his name. She's like, the person I've been traveling with this whole time is no longer here. And like she literally burst out in tears a couple of times. But like that was just like, oh, like that's another thing. And then you could
was a very big shock to me. Like out of all the releases, I was like, Bruce.
Yeah, but he's doing amazing. His character
is, but I'm just I'm surprised. I'm surprised they let that. He's a great talent, I think.
They've had a problem with him ever since he got over, because they wanted him to get over in a specific way at their specific time, and he didn't follow that. And so he's been kind of punished ever since, like the Rusev Day thing. He talked about that too, how Vince told him, "Oh, they're making fun of you." Like that Rusev Day is them booing you in their own way. You know what I mean? So it's like, I saw when him and Lana did, I don't know if you guys remember, it was like Southpaw Regional Wrestling. It was like some funny skit videos that they did, that the WWE did. I thought that was the funniest thing ever. And it actually made me want like Rusev and Lana to be able to do their own like sketch comedy show, because they're so funny. Like I hope one day in the future, that's like my wish for them. Get to do your.
That would be funny. Yeah. I enjoy the TikToks.
Yes, they're funny.
So we'll see. We'll see. Shout out to Lana. You more than welcome to come on the show.
Come on the show, Lana.
If Lana comes, please. We all have to be together.
Bring it back. Got it.
I mean,
hi, Lana. I'm Ayla.
Yeah, she really inspired me to like really do. And I know, well, I don't know. Well, maybe there are other shows who do that, but to really do a deep dive on different wrestlers. And like how, we look at them from different points of view, because some people, like, I'm really a big storyteller as far as like, I want to see what the story they're telling.
Right.
And they get that from me, then it's like, I'm all aboard, even if they're not like the best wrestler. But some people are more sticklers on like wrestling moves. So I would love to do like a breakdown of like female wrestlers. They don't have to be part of like huge promotions, but just like looking at their matches and looking how they're telling the stories and stuff like that. And I think that would be really cool. So Well,
yeah, and that's the main way I pick my talent is it's not about where you are, who you are, but I'm looking for the greatness that maybe not have the light shine on them.
Yeah, for sure. So what are the so during COVID, I think we all kind of developed different things we wanted to kind of do or try to do, or something that we've been talking about doing for a long time. As far as any hobbies and goals, have you developed anything?
Well, I've been thinking of different type of things. I mean, at first I was like, let me take this vacation for a second here. But I got Ayla's agency more organized and everything, and have like a little tier thing of how it would be financially beneficial in the way that I hire clients. I've just been talking to, the Office of Shine and Empower, seeing when the dates are going to come back and everything. But mainly, as I wait for the dates to come back, I don't know if you've seen it, you guys have seen her on YouTube. I can't remember. I mean, on Instagram, what her name was, but the roller skating girl. I got roller skates in the mail, and I'm about to be roller skating Ayla to the music. Just
okay.
So that's what I'm working on. Wait for the videos. I know I have Ayla's agency, but I am a jokester, and if you go through my social media, you could see sometimes I do funny stuff.
Time out, real quick. I gotta give you a shout out for that Halloween costume because you little with the little booty rock that you it's so cute. I loved it. For anyone who missed it was Married with Children. Was that show was called? Okay.
Yes, Married with Children. Yes,
Married with Children. You slayed that. That was 100%. Like, it was perfect. So
I love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, all the young people that saw me were like, "What are you?" But all the people who like, "Oh my God, Peggy!" That was great. Thank you for that. Yeah, so I want to do that and just see, new talent at the people at the school. We're just getting better and better. They're still training every day, so I could pop up with new talent from someone coming straight from the school, and I could, But right now, with Christmas and Thanksgiving and everything coming up, the holidays, things usually slow down. I'm going to go ahead and become a roller dancing girl.
Oh my gosh, do you have an outfit? Do you have an outfit picked out that matches?
Now, I have outfits.
That's not the Bible. I need to get.
But yes.
A little preview.
Yeah, not right here, not close enough to grab, but yeah, I have a bunch of me. I got this new jacket that has these silver tassels that come down and it like bees in the back, and I'm like, yes.
I wouldn't even have thought to ask that, but Emily, now that you've said it, I'm like, yep, of course.
It has to go with the skates. It has to go.
Yeah.
Oh my
I remember skating as a kid, and I would fall all the time. So
that's what I'm wondering about, because I was a very good skater. I ice skated well. I could roller skate, rollerblade well, but I'm from San Diego, and then I live in Atlanta now, and I moved here in like 2007. So I don't know if you guys saw them. I don't even know what the movie's called, but like ATL, where they're like skating at Cascade and they're like doing all the moves and everyone's like full blown like choreographed dances on the skate.
Bow Wow in it or something?
Yeah, Bow Wow and T.I. It's literally like that. I'm a good skater. I was in there getting rolled over. I couldn't even skate. It wasn't. If you're trying to go to just remember if you could skate, but Cascade is not it. You have to be a seasoned veteron.
You have to start slow. You have to go to where no one's around.
I need to go somewhere in the outskirts.
Go to a parking lot.
Wait, now that you've brought up this movie, first of all, I'm mad I can't remember the name. But second of all, what happened to that girl? She was
maybe it was Roll Bounce. I think
something bounce. Yeah,
it was Roll Bounce. What happened to that girl? She seemed like she was about to take over everywhere. Now she just disappeared.
What girl?
The light-skinned girl who was the love interest.
Wasn't it Lauren London or no?
Lauren London?
Was that Lauren London?
I think so.
I don't. No.
She
there was another girl.
Lil Wayne and
there was another girl with Lil Wayne. He's ruined many careers with that. Anyway, I loved the movie Roll Bounce when I was younger, and I went to go roller skate. And I can rollerblade and ice skate, but I can't skate. The displacement of my balance just.
Yeah. I'm hoping it all comes back to me. I also enjoy taking in some double dutch. However, it's very difficult to find people to turn the ropes for you.
Because you have to you can't just do it on your own. You have to come on.
I'm at WWA for come on guys, just hold this rope, and they're like,
And that's
You're like, I'm your boss. You need to hold the ropes.
And I'm like, never mind. I know people, of course, everyone has like different, projections of people. And, there's people that will say, Ashley's such a bitch, but it's like, okay, if people were just throwing trash all over your place, you'd be like, come on, guys, get together too. But it was so funny because I was talking to one of my friends. I'm like, it's really not that bad. I've been to wrestling schools where the wrestling wife has like 20 by 20 foot signs like queen of the school, like calm down. Like, I just want you guys to clean up after yourself and be responsible, please.
And do some double dutch once in a while.
Right.
So we're gonna hit rapid hot tags. Whole new set of questions for you.
Okay. I messed up the first time.
Yes. So here we go. What is your favorite quarantine snack?
Hot Cheetos.
Nice. Do you prefer working out at home or at the gym?
The gym with AC.
Very particular. Cooking at home or ordering out?
Ordering out.
If you could wake up tomorrow having gained one quality or ability, what would it be?
The ambition and drive to work out.
What in your life are you most grateful for?
Just my life, just how it played out, and the successes that I've had and the experiences that I had. So the whole thing altogether.
If you were able to live to the age of 90 and retain either the mind or body of a 30-year-old for the last 60 years of your life, which would you want?
The mind.
Oh.
Yes. I got one, you guys.
Not one.
I got one.
Total.
I've been asking this question for this season, and the majority of people are saying the body. And Sarah and I are on the body side, and Emily's like waiting. She's like, there has to be one person.
Because what are you gonna be looking hot and be like, where's my glasses?
Exactly.
I need to be like, no, I gave you $20 and I want my 62 cents back.
Yay, you're joining Team Emily. You're on my team.
I'm here.
I think there was one other person. We'd have to go back. So I think you have
I think there's one other person. I think, yeah.
So Sarah's going to hit that star of the week real quick.
Today's star of the week is Nina Monet, also known as Siren the Voodoo Doll on WoW Women of Wrestling. Nina debuted at the SNL of Wrestling, Platinum Championship Wrestling in Atlanta in 2012. She went on to train some places WWA 4 and in Mexico, appearing in Lucha Libre Femenil, Resistance Pro Wrestling, WSU, Shimmer, and many other shows across the country, including Empower Wrestling, where I last saw her. Be sure to follow her at, and I'm not joking, NegroDamas02, and tell her that Women's Wrestling Talk sent you. Want to learn more about a star of the indie wrestling scene? Shoot us your suggestions for future Stars of the Week.
Yeah, there it is.
Broadcaster Sarah. That's one of my ultimate goals right now, is also to get on Shimmer. But with everything going on,
Yeah, it's hard out there.
It's a weird time.
I would love to be.
I just saw a post that we're supposed to be back to normal in March. That's what they're saying. So
yeah, they said they have a vaccine. So
are you guys gonna get it? Are you gonna get the vaccine first round?
Here's the thing. I know a lot of people are worried about chips being implanted and all these things. You got a cell phone, you're already being chipped and implanted. You just have it in your hand. So I'm not worried about that. What I am worried about is generally tests take years to find issues.
Right.
So, like, for example, your kid has chickenpox. Make them hang out with other kids because it's better to get chickenpox when you're younger. What they found later is those kids got shingles as adults, right? So it's like, that's what makes me nervous, is the fact that they're going through it so fast, there could be side effects. I'm not worried about the chip.
And then who are they testing on? And the length of tests, and there's just so many.
Right, they're obviously been very short tests. So
yeah, I was watching the news the other day, like, there hasn't been any bad side effects, but we're watching everyone for 2 years. Like, yeah, because they won't probably have any side effects.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing. I don't get the iPhone brand new, and I won't get the vaccine brand new. But we'll see what happens to the first few.
I'm clipping that too.
All right. So where can everybody follow you?
You could follow me on Instagram at Ayla the Fox and Twitter as well, Ayla the Fox. You'll see my little face in the little circle. And if you follow me within the 24 hours of this airing, I will follow you back. And of course, only if your profile looks real. So that means I will be clicking on your name. Like, ooh, oh my God, they're so funny. Follow.
And Sarah, where can everybody follow you?
You can find me everywhere at Sarah the Rebel. Sarah's an H, as God in the Bible intended. Right now, Patreon is really popping off, so you probably want to join the Rebel crew. You can head over for as little as $1 a month, and you join the close friends circle on my Instagram. And that is the only way I will look at your account.
And then, Emily, where can everybody find you?
You can find me on all social platforms at Emily May Heller, and then catch Primetime Live on Tuesdays on Fight TV.
And oh my gosh, I totally forgot about this big news, but I am so excited. We actually have a subscriber on Anchor. So shout out to Natalie for subscribing. Just for as little as a coffee a day, you can subscribe, help us out, get all the audio and all the other little things that we're trying to do, make it work and, bring on amazing people. So we really, really appreciate it if you do that. But if you can't do that, just spread the word. That's also helpful as well. Click subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on all, Anchor, Spotify, all that good stuff. You can follow us on social media. Our social media is popping. Thanks, Sarah. So you can follow us on IG, WW Talk, and on Twitter, WW Talk Pod. And we also have some other projects coming your way as well. Thank you so much for being on our show. Really, really appreciate it. I kind of feel like we should have you on like yearly, and like every year it's just going to be
I'm here.
It's going to get better.
Like just something totally different. But really, because sometimes, no shade to like other folks, sometimes it's like, oh well, we talked to them already. There's like they haven't done anything, and some people's lives go like that. But it's just kind of like, no, we have a whole shit ton of stuff to talk to you about.
Right, yeah.
So that's always good. So thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is TK. You can follow me on everything at TK Trinidad. Till next time, guys. Ciao.
Bye. Thanks for having me.